Right. So, in order for you to become everything that you can become, you must be willing to stop being what you have been. I'm going to say that slower, maybe even take a screenshot. In order for you to become everything that you can become, you must be willing to stop being what you have been. And that's why I teach fast, imperfect action, because you are a habitual being and you have to trick your mind to act fast. Otherwise, what's going to happen is it's going to stay in its habitual loop, right? This is documented science. Your mind will convince you it is only safe doing what you have done. It will invent all kinds of reasons and excuses why you should stay in your little comfortable cocoon. All right. And I don't want that to happen to you. Okay. So a habit is when the body remembers better than the conscious mind. And some of these things that I'm sharing with you today, you might use in your things. You might model this and use your things as transformational leaders. All right. So by midlife, age 35, and by the way, 35 is midlife. It is midlife. About 95% of who we are is a series of subconscious programs that have become automatic. The subconscious mind only knows what you have programmed it to do. Listen to this. It does not know what is best for you. It doesn't know what your dreams are. It doesn't care. Your subconscious mind is not trying to get you to your dreams. It only wants you to do what you did yesterday and the day before and the day before. Do you see what we're up against here? Okay, so I was listening to this call the other day, and it was a chiropractor, and he was talking about how he was getting people into his brick and mortar, and he said people are confused about who their competitors are. Most people would say to me, my competitor is the chiropractor down the road, but my competitor is who that person is used to being. Wow. I hope you guys heard that. All right. So, how do we change this? To change it, you must immerse yourself in new actions and strategies, which then create new habits, beliefs, and identities. All right. I want you to know this for your clients too. Everything I have asked you to do over the last 3 weeks has been very intentional and very deliberative so that you can disrupt your system and begin to change your programming. All right. Like, wave at me if this is making sense, because this is how you're going to change people too. Now, I'm sure all of you have heard about the 80-20 rule. 80% of results come from 20% of your efforts. And I'm going to expand this concept today. In order for your life to look different tomorrow, it requires different action and different mindsets today. And you have a choice. You can either 2x or 10x your life, or 0x your life, right? All right. Here's what I mean by that. I'm going to pull this up and I want you to look at this slide. If you took everything you do in a day and you threw out 20% of it and replaced it with 20% new things, you would 2x your life. That means you would double your life. 2x looks like 20% new and 80% existing. Or you could throw out 80% of what you're doing and replace it with new actions, new strategies, which will then lead to new habits, beliefs, and identities. All right, I want you to hear this, maybe even write this down. 95% of your life now is your past life. And it's very possible that a large percent of that 95% is not moving you towards your new current dreams. Changing your life by 80% probably seems impossible. Like Deanna's probably like, I can't do that. I can't think that. I totally get it. But that's because most of the time, 80% of your life represents security. And the reason why it represents security is because your subconscious mind is hanging on to what you did yesterday and the day before and the day before. All right. The goals in your life, I want someone to say goals, will shape your path. The higher your goals and the bigger your dreams, the more will be required of you. And what do I mean by that? What I mean is if you have dreams and goals of making $100,000 figures a day, I want you to know it's 100% possible, but it's going to require a 10x of your life and not a 2x. If your goals don't feel impossible, then you're actually working off of assumptions of your past because you know how to do it. Isn't that good? If it doesn't, it should feel impossible, because if it doesn't feel impossible, then it means it's something you already know. All right. Making sense? All right. So the question sometimes is, how do you know what 80% to stop doing if you want to 10x your life? Because I just told you, you could literally 10x your life. And what do I mean by 10x? 10x your income. So whatever your income is, times it by 10, 10x your impact. If it's not moving you towards your current goal, your current dream life, then you stop doing it. Isn't that simple? Like, ask yourself, where am I stepping over piles of cash to pick up pennies? Right? Now, when I decided, I'll tell you a little story. When I decided I wanted to serve people at a higher level, it was, first of all, I work 12 hours a day. So you want to talk about, like, how do I fit in more stuff if I'm already working 12 hours a day? But it was super easy for me because I realized I could stop doing 80% of what I was doing, because if it didn't move the needle towards my new dream, I was no longer okay with spending time there. I literally got on my computer, opened up Outlook, and I started deleting standing appointments and responsibilities off of my calendar. And I couldn't believe how many things I was doing that was a distraction or noise. I realized I had like the biggest aha. Oh my gosh, I'm doing this out of habit, right? They represented an old goal or an old dream, and I was just like hanging on to them, right? Are we getting the power of this? And here's the part that is laughable to me. When I started just deleting stuff, nobody noticed. No one noticed. I'm going to give you a really specific example. This is going to sound so obvious to you guys. You're going to be like, yeah, that was so stupid, Cortney. But you have to understand that I didn't realize what I was doing because I was so programmed into the habitual way of what I was doing. So I was spending hours, time, and energy. I heard something the other day. I want to say this to you guys. Somebody on a call the other day said, sometimes money is people's limited resource and sometimes it's time. And eventually, as you mature, particularly as a business owner and a human being, you realize that it's not money, it's time, because money replenishes itself, right? I spend money and then I get it, and then I spend money and then I get it. Remember, there's more where that came from. Time, once it's gone, it's gone. So I want you to start thinking about time as this limited resource, and you need to really guard it. So I was spending all these hours trying to fill spots in a $16 yoga class at Shine. I literally was like, for years, racking my brain of like, how can we get more people to come to this $16 yoga class? And then it hit me. This class is not moving me towards any of my goals. It was costing me time, energy, and money for nothing in return. I was like this big awakening, like, why am I doing this? I had to ask myself, why am I trying to fill a yoga class that nobody wants to take? Really? Why? So I canceled it. And I took all that time that I was focusing on this yoga class and filling this yoga class to my new dream. And with that little shift and a few others, I went from literally losing money on a $16 yoga class to making $48,000 my first month as a business coach, helping premium paying clients. Losing money or 48,000. Offering a class that nobody wants to come to or cares about, I delete it and nobody even knows, or offering a way in which business owners can allow their dreams to come true. All right. So here's what I want you to know. Stop doing the 80% that's holding you back and replace it with what is going to move you forward. All right. Over the last 4 weeks, you have been given new actions, new strategies, new habits, new beliefs, and new identities. And now what are you going to do with it? Are you going to 10x? Are you going to 2x? The decision is yours. And by the way, there's no right or wrong answer. I just want you to be aware of it. All right. Now, I have a very specific how to 10x your life method. It's inside week 4 of school. You'll find a worksheet in there that will walk you through the process of literally changing your habits so you can 10x or 2x your life. Because if you continue to do exactly what you are doing now, your future will look the exact same as it does now, right? Now, I want to give you some encouragement, and then I'm going to pause for the cause in a second. I want to give you encouragement before you re-enter your life. And like Deanna said, like fly away, my little birds. I want you to enter your life and start 10xing it. And